So I actually Googled it. It's 80% real.
What does that even mean?
They didn't elaborate on whether they...
What does that mean?
80% his real beard.
What does that mean? But if you're 80% of the way there to a luscious beard, you've already got a luscious beard. Why do you need to add the 20%?
I don't know. Whatever they did, it worked.
Okay.
It looked good.
I'm going to let it go.
Let it go. You look like your head's going to explode.
Yeah.
So just take a breath.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, ho, ho, ho.
Oh, God.
And welcome to the most Christmassy episode of the year.
Oh, God. Hi, my name's James.
My name's Ben. And this is our fourth and final Christmassy special of December.
Coming to you on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we've decided on that day, haven't we?
Yes.
Because this may be breaking the magic of podcasting, but it's not Christmas Eve as we're speaking.
What? No, it is.
Did you not know this, James?
Every time someone listens to us, it's Christmas Eve.
Hang on, what? Right, anyway, welcome to this week's episode. We're off to a flying start this week.
Beautiful.
What should we go? Have you got a complaint?
I haven't got a complaint. I thought I'd get in the Christmas
God.
spirit and just enjoy it and revel in the Christmas and joyousness.
Well, I've not got a complaint. Actually, okay, this was going to be a news, but this is the closest thing to a complaint. It just is a complaint.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
It's not Christmassy.
Okay.
Are you aware of the artiste Pitbull?
Yes. My mum and dad love him.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Right. This has angered me, a large portion of anger. So, this actually is related to the Aquaman film, which I've not seen yet.
Okay.
But Pitbull did a song that's...
Pitbull plays Aquaman?
No.
Is Jason Momoa Pitbull on the side?
Can you imagine Pitbull as Aquaman?
Yes. I think that'd be great. He starts every line with like, Pitbull! And then goes into it.
The soundtrack for Aquaman, Pitbull has done a song on the soundtrack.
Right.
That song is a cover of one of the greatest songs of all time.
Okay.
And he's shit all over it.
Okay.
So...
Oasis Wonderwall, that's all he's saying.
Are you aware of the band Toto?
I am.
Okay, Africa by Toto.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's the only song I know by them, so...
Pitbull has covered that.
Pitbull!
Right, I'm gonna actually... Anyone who's listening, go away and listen to this track.
Okay.
I'm going to play it for you now.
Okay.
We'll be back in a sec. Stop bobbing your head. No head bobbings allowed during this monstrosity.
I think that's enough now. I think that the upbeat...
If you defend this in any way, I'm going to come over there and I'm going to slap you around the head.
I think the upbeat chorusy... And then down in Africa is all right. Pitbull's rapping before and after that, not good.
I almost hate the chorus more because that actually is trying to sound like the original song.
Yeah.
I was lost for words.
Well, it's all right.
It's not all right.
Okay, here's a question for you, Ben, then.
Okay.
Which is worse?
I know
Funky
what
Friday.
you're gonna ask. This is worst. This is far worse.
What is this just Toto Africa by Pitbull? Or has he renamed it as well?
Called,
has he remixed the title as well?
Remixed the title. It's called Ocean to Ocean.
Right, yeah. One of the lines in there was like, ocean to ocean, you have to put up with me, or something like that.
You've got to put up with this shit.
Yeah, which I feel like is that self-aware? Does he realise how terrible he is?
I feel like he must do at this point.
I mean, if you were like faking it the whole time and you were just getting money to be paid to do this anyway, I'd do it.
I'd like to think this was ironic. But the fact that it's on the soundtrack of a big blockbuster film feels like it's not ironic.
Yeah, I imagine it's not.
No, that makes me sad.
He probably thinks it's the best song he's ever done.
Yeah, I imagine he does. Toto, Africa is one of the best songs of all time.
Okay.
I'm happy going on record saying that. This is not.
Is it like the yin to the yang, though? Do you know what I mean?
This never needed to exist. Oh, God. Right, let's move on to Christmassy topics, because that is not Christmassy, and...
Well, should we go to News Bleat?
Let's go to News Bleat. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, I don't know if you've seen this in the last couple of days. It's kind of been quite big in the UK.
Okay, go on.
So did you see that Gatwick Airport got shut down?
I did.
By some drones.
Yes, I did see this.
This is ridiculous. I think all I've heard is there's only one drone, and it closed the airport for the whole day.
Yeah, do you know like details of this?
Well, basically they've not caught who was the operator.
Yeah.
I think they finally stopped the drone or drones, and they brought out the army to try and hunt down who it was and doing it.
The reason I ask is I'd not read the articles, but I'd seen the headlines pop up on my phone. And all that was going through my head was trying to picture a drone in proportion to a plane, and why all of the airport had been shut down over one drone.
So I think the idea is that if it flew into a engine,
right,
it could cause a crash.
Right. Okay.
I think was the idea.
Okay.
But you will enjoy this because when I was on Twitter and looking it up, there was lots of conspiracy theories going around.
Okay, let's hear them.
So just people were like saying that why is this such big news when the Parliament passed like a cut in funding for something. It's like a £84 million cut or something like that.
Jesus.
So that didn't get like much publicity because of this Gatwick, because of the drone.
I see.
Yeah, and it was basically people questioning like, why would you need to shut down a whole airport for just one drone? Like, if something else happened, and they're just trying to keep it under wrap with this kind of believable but a little bit ridiculous story.
It's the lizard people.
They're in the drones.
Are the lizard people small or are the drones big?
Yes. I don't know, Ben. Lizard people can change.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that. I thought it was a bit crazy. Maybe they're on something. Maybe that is a cover-up. I mean, more likely the safety of passengers.
Yeah.
In a plane that could go down is pretty big news, really.
I can't believe it's taken this long for drones to have an effect, and why there's...
Yeah, that's true. Because in fact, actually, maybe this is a government cover-up, because a drone is no different to the size of a bird, for example. They've never shut down an airport before because birds fly. Have they?
That's a big shout of never there.
I've never, to my knowledge, I've never heard that.
Yeah, I've heard there've been issues with birds.
Yeah.
But I know that they have like animal patrols to keep birds off runways and stuff like that.
Right.
So they have like falconry and stuff like that to keep flocks of birds off. So I know birds can be an issue.
Okay.
And like planes have crashed because they've gone into a flock of geese or something like that, and the engines made geese soup, and then had to come down.
Yeah. Okay. I take it back. The government aren't behind it. Or maybe they are.
Yeah. But it's just, I can't believe this has not happened before. Drones have been around for quite a long time. I can't believe that nobody has come up with an idea to stop this.
Definitely.
People were just on Twitter saying, just shoot it.
Yeah.
But, you know...
how did they get it down? I imagine the battery would have just run out at some point.
A big net. Have you ever seen Catch the Pigeon? They're going around with a plane and trying to like catch it with a net. The problem with shooting stuff into the... if you miss, you've just shot a bullet up into the sky, which could come down in a residential area, I think. That's true. So there's more consequences.
Well, get someone who's a really good shot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. No, I think you get someone that's like Theresa May to do it. Come out as like a significant figure.
No, she was too busy doing the thing that she was trying to cover up, so she couldn't have done it, obviously.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a bit of news.
Yeah, real news. Have you got any real news?
Yes.
Oh.
I've definitely not got real news.
Okay.
Right, this is basically a section of news that should have been last week because all of it is Home Alone themed.
Okay.
The first thing I want to address is, if anyone was listening last week, we were having a debate about the number of kids in the films.
Yeah.
Because I was convinced there was 10, and you were convinced there was 11.
I was.
And then while I was editing, I even...
No. You convinced there was 11, and I was convinced there was 10.
Yes, 11, that way round.
Yeah.
So I went back, found the film, exported it as audio, got the clip, put it in the edit, and proved that there were 11 kids.
Uh-huh.
But then you replied with a video clip from the next film,
yes,
showing that there are 10 kids.
Correct.
And we're both correct.
Okay.
So they're a child down in the second film.
Oh.
So I did some digging into the family tree, and I found that Heather McAllister isn't in the cast list for the second film.
Okay.
So let me give you some backstory on who Heather is. So in the first film, she is the one that does the head count.
Okay.
She's the one that does the counting. So, Heather McAllister is Kevin's oldest cousin. She attends Northwestern University, and her parents, Georgette and Rob, live in Paris, as Rob had gotten a job transfer the summer before. She's the older sister of Stefan and twin girls.
Okay.
It's her.
Right.
She's just not with them in the second film.
Oh, okay. So, wait. I'm trying to add this all up. So, the family that's there in the first film,
yes,
she's not related to either of those parents.
She's related to. So there's a really, really brief scene where they're in Paris, and you know the uncle has like a plate of shrimp, and there's a woman in the background who goes, "No, that shrimp's for later."
Yeah,
that's Heather's mum.
Okay,
so they met them there.
Right,
I don't know why.
Right.
Maybe she's in university nearer them, so she went with them.
Okay,
that could be it.
Right.
But anyway,
Mystery
I want
solved.
to address this now, and case closed. We're both correct, but I believe we're talking about the first film when we're talking, so I'm taking that I'm correct.
Fine. I was just taking evidence from the second film.
Mystery over.
Fair enough.
Right.
I'll be wrong again.
That is the theme.
Did you keep that post-edit Ben talk in as well?
Yes, I did.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on, what? Which bit?
Where you're like, oh, hi, this is Ben from the future.
Yeah.
And James is completely and utterly wrong.
Yeah, obviously.
But you didn't put in the other clip in.
Which one?
No,
you did that afterwards, and I wasn't going to go back and do another edit.
So this is my redemption here. Fine.
So I'm addressing it on mic. Fine. I'm saying...
Fine, Ben, it's fine.
Right, Home Alone number 2.
Okay.
Not Home Alone 2. Home Alone News number 2.
Okay.
So someone in America was having Amazon packages delivered to his house, and he had a note saying, leave it in the porch if he wasn't in. But he kept having them stolen from his house. People would just be walking past, see that there was a package, and then steal it. And this guy had enough of that happening. And it turns out he's an engineer.
Is this Mark Ronson?
Mark Ronson?
Is a YouTuber?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen this?
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen this video.
Yeah, so he designed a package that basically released a load of dust and sparkly stuff into the air and fart spray at the same time.
As it's known in the business, glitter.
Glitter. Why could I not pick the word glitter?
Yes.
Right. He made a decoy package. His inspiration, he said, for this was the Home Alone films. So he addressed the package from Kevin McAllister, and it was addressed to Harry and Marv, the burglars of the Home Alone films. I thought that was just it's a great little video.
Is that his name? Or is Mark Ronson the guy that does producing with Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Check his name now.
Okay.
It's Mark something, I'm sure. Or I'm gonna be wrong again. I can feel it. I can already feel it.
That's why I was hesitant, because I was like, Mark Ronson's definitely the musician producer. Yeah. So you're wrong again.
Oh, is it Mark? It
is Mark. It's Mark Rober.
Oh, I knew it began with an R.
Mark Rober.
Yeah, he's a NASA engineer, isn't he?
He's a NASA engineer. But I just thought it was great that he basically made this package and filled it with cameras, glitter, and fart spray. So whoever stole the package, which inevitably happened to like 6 or 7 people.
Yeah.
I was dubious he either lives in a really shit area with a lot of people that steal.
I think they weren't all taken from his place.
He passed it off to a friend of me at one point. And either way, Home Alone, the Home Alone magic is spreading.
True and alive.
And my last bit of Home Alone news is Kevin McAllister reprised his role. No, Kevin didn't.
I was like, Kevin acted.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yes.
Reprised his role as Kevin for a Google ad where they recreated Home Alone scenes, but all the while he was like jumping on the bed and getting Google to do things.
Yes.
Which half of me was happy to see him do the role again, and half of me was like, this is a bit cringy, stop now.
I think he's kind of come out the woodwork. I've seen a lot of stuff that he's done recently, because he went away from the spotlight and now he's come back. I saw him do a video game review of all the Home Alone video games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've not seen them.
With like another video game reviewer. Like he came on as a helper. And he's done quite a few different things like that recently.
I'll have to look at that. I thought seeing him now, because I saw him when he was a child in the films.
Yeah.
And then I've seen him in an interim period where I thought he looked a bit of a wreck.
Yeah.
He looks like he's grown into himself again. He looks like a normal human now.
Yeah, he looks like a normal human being.
Yeah, he looked all right. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, that's my barrage of
Home Alone
news?
Don't worry yet, Ben. It's not over.
You've got more?
Wait.
Oh.
So, shall we do fake news or not?
Okay, fake news or not.
So, fake news or not, if you're not aware of what it is, I come with 2 news stories that are either fake and made up by me or are real news stories from around the world.
And I've got to guess.
And Ben's got to guess.
Which are real and which are not.
So, to continue the theme, okay.
Are these Home Alone themed?
Not one is. One isn't. Yeah. Okay. So, the first one is... a woman is arrested after kids found Home Alone watching Home Alone.
Okay.
So, yep, that's that one.
Okay.
And then the other one is a father dressed in a Santa outfit is safely removed from a chimney after getting stuck up there for 5 hours after trying to surprise his kids.
Right. Okay. So, right, as always, I'm going to try and ask a few questions without going too deep. First one, how long were they alone for?
So the mother had gone to work, so it was a significant period of time. It was 2 boys, and she came home, and... No, she didn't come home, sorry. She was at work.
Yeah.
But I think she may have got reported, or the police came over, saw that she was alone. It's against the law to leave your kids neglect.
Yeah.
Arrested her.
Okay. That's quite a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively. Okay. Noted. Okay. Let's move on.
Yep.
Remind me of this one again.
The father... in a Santa outfit, got trapped in a chimney.
Yeah, I like that. Not that he got trapped.
Yeah.
It's just it's a Christmassy story.
Yeah, I thought I'd try and get some more Christmassy.
So was he trying to do this? Was it like in the night? Was he like role playing for himself, or was he putting a show on?
I think he was trying to surprise his children.
Yeah.
Some people might walk through the front door with Santa. He was like, I'm going to go the extra mile and slither down a chimney.
That's a very badly thought out plan.
Well,
I mean, I don't know the size of this chimney, how tall it was, but I just can't help but think that's a terrible idea. I mean, evidently he got stuck.
Evidently, yes. He did say that he does this every year, but he feels like he's put on a few pounds since last time.
No, he didn't. You got a step too far. I think that's fake.
Okay.
I'm actually going to say I think both of these are fake.
I'm afraid you're wrong.
Oh my god, are they both true?
No.
Okay, which one's fake?
So the fake one is the stuck Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I go too far?
You went too far.
Damn it.
I was already doubting it, but that last little line confirmed it for me. So the first one's true?
First one's true, yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that I would condone leaving kids, but I thought because it was over a relatively short space of time... Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
I think it's only become news because they were, found watching
Home Alone.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
So, there you go.
I want to know which Home Alone they were watching. Or were they watching all of them?
Yeah, maybe if they watched...
one on loop.
Maybe they got through all Home Alones and then rang up the police and those last ones were terrible. Come and save us.
We're going to have to watch the next 2 for next year.
I just want to shit talk them without watching them.
I feel bad shit talking it when we've not seen them. Oh dear.
Yes,
right, well,
I'll win again.
Yet again.
So I'll be wrong, but I still win every week.
Yes. Okay, well, before we finish news...
Okay.
I feel this is worth a mention, but we won't go too in-depth. We went to see Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse yesterday.
We did. Very Christmassy film.
And I think it was too good to not say anything.
Right.
I gave this 5 bars.
5 bars.
You gave it...
4.5, but I would go for a full 5 bars if we're doing a 2 sheep nipple rating.
2 sheep consensus, 5 bars. I thought this was a really pleasant surprise for me because I went in with relatively low expectations.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of my favourite films of this year. It
was really good. The art style was really good. The story was really good. Ben came out amazed that this came out in the same year that Venom did from the same production.
Yeah, quickly, Sony...
Complaint?
Minor complaint, but I just don't understand how Sony can release 2 films that are so far at the other end of the scale from each other. I was saying to you yesterday, just Sony, make this your thing. The live action they've pretty much slipped up on since the original Spider-Man 2 back in whatever year that was.
Yeah.
Just, you've nailed this with this animation style. It's completely fresh, that animation style. It felt like nothing that I'd ever seen before.
It looked a little bit like Telltale, the games.
Yeah, a little bit.
That kind of style, but
done to the max.
Yeah, but more comic book.
But yeah, this could work. I've heard that they are making sequels to this, but just do this. Don't try and establish a Spider-Man universe with no Spider-Man in live action. Like, they could really make this work, and I hope they do. So I would...
Should you watch it? Yeah.
Yes, I would recommend anyone watches this. Right, anyway, enough of that. Let's move on to a new section.
News section, did you say?
A new
section. Okay.
Don't know whether this will work or not, but I thought, seeing as this is Christmas time, lots of gifts are going to be exchanged amongst people. And what's the right way to do that? Is there an etiquette that we should follow?
Okay.
So I found an article online, well, 2 articles online, answering that question, and we're going to see if we agree.
Right. So whether we go with the etiquette and be sheeps, or we go against it
and be goats.
Okay. We're calling this sheep or goats.
Just roll with it. Sheep or goat.
Right. Okay.
Right. So this one, it is a Forbes article. It is an interview with a professional etiquette man.
Yeah, I've seen these. I think they're kind of made up jobs, really.
Yeah, it seems a bit ridiculous. I feel like we're doing this job now, and I feel like we're going to do a better job than this person is. I'm saying that before we've read the article.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. How do you get this job? Do you just be like, I am the poshest man around?
Yeah. I feel like this guy's posh.
Mm-hmm. Has he got like a triple-barreled last name?
He's called Daniel Post.
Oh.
Not very.
No.
He could be from Newcastle or anything.
That sounds
not saying that anyone from Newcastle can't be posh.
That sounds like a command rather than a name. Yeah. Daniel Post.
Post it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, what have you done now?
Jesus Christ!
Just before we started recording, you knocked a whole glass of water over.
A full pint.
And now what's he done?
The coaster.
You've just dropped.
So we had some mulled wine. Ben's got some mulled wine.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We've not painted the Christmassy scene.
We haven't.
So our table is covered in a beautiful
pug reindeer conglomerate.
You should not go for these words. From past experience, we know it doesn't work.
A big pug group. I give up. Why do I do a podcast?
So, we've got a tablecloth that's actually a rug, and it's covered in pugs dressed as reindeers. We have our pug reindeer mascot. We've got tinsel on the mic stands. We've got mulled wine, and we've eaten our mince pies.
Yes, and we're both wearing very Christmassy jumpers.
Mm-hmm. What am I wearing?
Ben's wearing a forest of Christmas trees with tinsel and lights on the top. Beautiful flashing lights, like actual LED lights.
And you have come as a reindeer.
I have come as a reindeer.
No more can be said about that. Yes. You're literally your jumper is a reindeer.
It's lovely and soft.
It's furry, and you've got a hood with antlers.
I have. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Right, I've forgotten what we were even saying.
We're going to do etiquette.
It's Christmas. We're doing Christmas etiquette. Right. So there's an interview with Daniel Post, etiquette man, on gifts. First question is: my friends always give me lavish gifts. Do I have to reciprocate?
But if by that point it's too late, are you asking my opinion?
Well, yeah. Before we have his opinion, we're going to go over whether this is right or not, and then we'll see how wrong Daniel Post is.
Personally, I would say no, because it's not the price of the gift that matters.
Should you have to give a gift? If you've got a friend that you always know is going to give you a gift,
you've got to make a decision who makes the cut and who doesn't. Do you know what I mean? If you make the cut for them, that's fine. If they don't make the cut for you,
so you're saying fine. No, you shouldn't have to always.
It's just the lavishly in there that's thrown me. I thought it was like, do I have to spend as much? If someone's going to get you a gift, you should really get them a gift back, I think.
I think that would be my answer. I think yes to the gift, no to the lavishness.
Okay.
Should we see what Daniel Post has to say?
What does our mate Danny say?
Right. Danny says, the straightforward answer is no. It's a cliche, but gift-giving is ultimately about the spirit or thought behind the present. Be truly and genuinely appreciative of your friend's gift and reciprocate as best as you can in spirit, if not dollar for dollar. I think that's kind of what we just said.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right, Daniel, you're right on this one.
1 for 1.
Good
job.
Okay. Relatives whom I know can't afford gifts send me a present every year. Should I say something?
Ooh, good question. So the thing is that they can't afford to buy you a gift.
So you know that Uncle Bob can't afford the gift that he's going to send you, but he sends it anyway. Do you say something?
No.
No, I feel like you couldn't. I feel like that's making a far more awkward situation.
Because you don't go around to their house and go, oh, you can't afford that tomato ketchup. You've got to go as the value.
Yeah.
You just keep your nose out and take the gift.
Yeah. Because also, I think that's a big show of love from Uncle Bob, that he's sending you a gift, even though you know he can't really afford it.
Well, give him a bunch of money back then.
Yeah, you give him a Christmas card with a value you know is far higher than the gift.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think that's that would make someone feel terrible if you said, I know you can't afford it, don't bother.
Listen, pauper.
Yeah.
Don't send me your shit gifts. You're right there, you smack the microphone.
I just punched my mic. It's all good, all good.
Cool.
Right, okay, let's see what he has to say. I've just got to get into character again.
Okay.
We often say that if you want to receive a gift, he sounds like a politician. He sounds like he's going around the answer already. We often say that if you want to receive a gift with the same spirit of generosity with which it is given, in this case, you should receive the gift and be appreciative. But if you anticipate hardship for that person, talk to the individual ahead of time. Discussions about money during the holidays should be open, candid, and honest. Use simple language by saying, we're really trying to keep it minimal this year, so I appreciate everything that you've done in the past, but this year, a card will be just fine.
Is that simple language? Simple language
No.
is, don't buy me shit, you dumb fuck.
I think that also sounds really demeaning.
Yes.
Like, thanks for everything you've done, but this year, just give me a card, mate.
Yeah. Don't even do that. Don't
Daniel
give me a
Post, you're wrong.
Yeah, but he said the same thing at the beginning, didn't he? Where he's like,
yeah, but then he went off
gift.
piste and it all went downhill from there.
Have you got like a something against this Daniel guy?
I feel like I've conjured a character here, and I really don't like him. I've skipped 2 questions; they weren't very good. Okay, here we go. I get the same gift from a relative every year. Let's say it's Uncle Bob again, and it's not something that I actually enjoy. What do I do?
What you know? What I would do?
What would you do?
I would keep it.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. Give it back to him next year.
I thought you were going to say you were going to use it as a gift for someone else, which I was going to say, no. That's a great idea, but no, you're being passive-aggressive and giving it back to...
And then you just become a little cycle and you just give it back to each other.
Poor Uncle Bob.
Then
you already know he can't afford it.
Well, but Ben, I've thought about this, because if he gives him the same one every year, if I just give it back to him, he doesn't have to buy a new one for next year, does he?
Oh, I see.
Because then he's got that one.
But he'll be giving you a gift at the same time.
So there's only a maximum of 2 needed, really.
Okay, is he cycling it back, whatever you give to him as well?
Well, it'd be silly
not
to.
As passive-aggressive as you?
He's already passive-aggressive by giving me the same present. Nobody would receive the present, think, I don't want this, I'm going to buy this for you every year, keep it, and just like, he's just got a pile in his garage, and he's just buying a new one every year. It doesn't happen.
Okay.
So that's my answer.
Okay, shall we see what Daniel Post says?
But he doesn't say that, I'll tell you that much. For free.
Okay. Suggest starting a new tradition and be clear about the change in direction. For example, you might suggest a bake-off.
Jeez.
I can't imagine a conversation ever going down well that says...
Right, Bob, I don't want socks anymore. But just bake me a cake.
The bake-off suggests that it's a competition as well.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got more to say. You could also try dropping subtle hints about your wish list to this family member ahead of time. Like, okay, this is a quote here now.
Go on.
Boy, I've got a lot of...
Come on, get it out. Spit it out, you voice actor.
Boy, I've got a closet full of sweaters. It'd be nice to get a hat this year.
Nobody talks like that. Just into the ether.
I love the addition of boy at the beginning.
Boy, gosh.
Golly darn it, I've got a closet full of sweaters.
It just comes into your room. 18, 19, 20. Oh, don't worry me, Bob. I'm just counting my sweaters. How many hats have I got, I hear you say? Only one. Boy, I would love a hat.
Oh, I love that you've embodied him as well now. He also finishes it to say, if you get the same gift anyway, just smile and be thankful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sentiment rings true.
Yeah, about any gift, isn't it?
Oh, God. Daniel Post's killing me here. I feel like this one doesn't apply to us yet because we've not got kids.
Okay.
But I suppose we could have friends that have kids. I'm going to answer anyway.
Okay.
Right. My friends and I have always given gifts to each other's kids, but now that they're older, I want to stop. How do I broach this? I
think you have to pick an age beforehand.
Yeah.
So if you started giving gifts, too late. Sorry, do it for the rest of their life. Unless they're not yet to that 18. 18 is like a hard limit.
Yeah.
But before that, you could be like, oh, should we just do until they get to high school? Because then you could cut it off, 7 years early.
Okay, let's, for the sake of it, say you've not had this conversation, you've forgotten to have it, and they're 17 years old, and it's December now, 2 days before Christmas. So they've probably already got your kids a gift.
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation?
Well, you have to buy their kids a gift.
Doing it.
Yeah. But then, next year, you just maybe on the card, you put like, it's your last Christmas, in like a almost ominous, threatening way.
So you think you should say it to the kids, not to the parents?
Yeah.
I suppose they're 18 at that point.
I know, yeah. Not really a child anymore, are they?
Yeah,
if you can vote, you don't get a Christmas present from me.
Okay. Let's see what Daniel Post has to say. It is natural for traditions to evolve.
Boy, is it natural for traditions to evolve.
But it's nice to get everybody on board ahead of time. So whenever you're dealing with a change in tradition, it's best to talk to everyone involved as soon as possible and explain why you want to make the change. A good approach is to say something like, it's getting to be too much for all of us to get gifts for each other. Why don't we draw names this year or just have a get-together instead? I feel like he's said what we've said, but in a shit way.
You really don't like this guy, do you? You're just giving him shit for no reason. He's like, half his answers are like exactly the same as what we said.
No, but the answer should be what we've just said. It should just have a chat and say, agree on a cut-off point.
Yeah.
Done.
He
doesn't have to say, you should say something like, we should have a bake-off.
We should bake your children, then we don't have to buy them cards.
Okay, here's a good one. I think this could apply a lot over the Christmas period. Okay. We've got a lot of holiday parties to attend this year. Do we have to buy a gift for each and every host?
No.
No?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Like, I don't buy gifts for nobody. But I think that's more of a tell on me than...
Your mum? No. Your girlfriend? No.
No
presents for anyone.
Yeah, my girlfriend's gone out and bought a lot of presents for everybody, and then I've just signed my name on them.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
That's the best way to do it.
As well.
But I am going to have to do some Christmas shopping today, I think.
Yeah.
Go out and get a little something.
You're cutting it fine. It's Christmas Eve.
It's Christmas Eve, it is. It was the night before Christmas.
And all through the... No, we're not going to go into that.
No. So the answer for me was no.
Right.
You wouldn't have to buy them. I would maybe go around with like a bottle of wine and be like, have a bit.
Yeah.
And then never let it leave my hand.
So you're just bringing wine for you, is what
exactly.
You're saying. Okay. Right, Daniel Post has to say, if you'll just be making a quick visit, you don't necessarily need to bring something. Generally, with hostess gifts, the threshold for gift giving starts when someone cooks you a meal. If that's the case, bring a bottle of wine and never let it leave your hand. No, he didn't say that. Some non-perishable sweets, a centerpiece or an ornament. You don't have to go all out, but the thought is nice.
I thought you were going to say a centipede. I was like, that's a left out in left field, isn't it?
Bring a centipede. That's his answer, and that's our answer. We'll stand by that.
Next Christmas, Ben, that's what you're getting.
A centipede, but no card.
But no card.
No card. I'd like to say I've just given you your Christmas card as well.
I've not opened it, and I will give it to my girlfriend, and she can open it.
Right, I think let's make this the last one. I think this section's gone on long enough.
It has.
Right. I think this is awkward. A friend made a donation on my behalf to a non-profit that doesn't support my values. What do I say? Nothing. You say nothing is the answer to that.
Oh, I don't know. It depends what the non-profit is.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends if you made it to... I'm trying to think of something that would be suitably bad for me to kick off.
If it's like, vote for vegans or something like this. I'm like,
I was more thinking along the lines of like finding out they made donations to like the KKK or something. Not vegans.
Yeah, they're the same. I'll take that back. Sorry, vegans.
Yeah, I was
if you're
listening.
Say,
don't
anger the vegans.
That's all the KKK.
Yes. I think the big part of that question is what kind of non-profit organization do you not like? Like, is that you are literally opposed to?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's going to be charity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, is this podcast a non-profit organisation?
Yeah, it depends how far you take it.
Because we're making no profit.
I could imagine someone kicking off if someone donated to our podcast in their name. That's you've got our permission to kick off at them for that.
No. You think, what a good idea. I'll also do that.
Yes, so it's Christmas Eve, so you're cutting a bit fine. But if no one's got Christmas presents for someone, we're a wonderful non-profit organisation if you want to make a donation in their name.
We might be profit soon. So if you give some money to us, we'll then become a profits organisation.
Oh God. Right, short answer then. Say I just can't think of a situation where I would be offended by them giving to charity.
I'd be like, thanks, here's your gift.
So just passive-aggressive again.
Yeah.
Half of that sentence, I feel, was the face expression. It didn't carry over on mine.
Yeah, thanks.
That's better.
Here's your gift of a Pandora charm. Shall I donate that to charity as well? Fucking hell.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but you don't even know that they've done it. Do you know what I mean? I could say that, this year I've given a donation in everybody's name.
That
it's like
would
a
be
penny.
Morally awful, but a really good idea if you were really short on money.
Yeah. And here's my receipt. And it's just me written. I'm a good boy.
Right, shall we see what our friend Daniel has to say?
Yeah, I forgot we were doing this.
Firstly, this is a long one actually. Firstly, thank your friend for the gift, but then ask if you can have a separate private conversation about the donate. That's never good, is it? If you get a gift and you go, thanks very much, can I have a private talk with you after?
I need to talk to you later.
Right, anyway, broach the subject gently by saying, I love that you're thinking about ways to help other people, but there's actually another organisation that I'd love to contribute to. You don't have to turn it into a... Oh, he stopped the quote now. You don't have to turn the talk into a big political discussion. Just tell your friend that it's about fulfilling the thought behind the gift in the best way possible, and that you'd be more comfortable putting the donation towards a different non-profit.
Okay.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very diplomatic way to deal with it.
Just don't talk to someone about it. If they've got a gift and they've done a nice thing, just leave it. Smile and wave type thing.
And then you cross them off your list of friends. You never see them again. Gone.
Well, I think we've answered all of those questions to the best of our ability.
Yeah, don't follow those.
And
because
shit on Daniel in the process.
I'm terrible at giving gifts.
Don't. Just stand by what we've said.
Okay.
And everyone should follow our rules, and you'll have a wonderful Christmas time.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Right, well, that closes the Two Sheep Guide to Gift Giving for Christmas. And have we got anything else to do, or main topic time?
No, let's move on to what we promised we'd... Promised? Why?
You just... Sean Connery just embodied you for a minute there.
I know. Promised.
Right, should we move on quickly before this goes too far?
Yes.
All right, we're back.
Yes.
So everyone already knows what we're doing this week.
If you're new
listened
to the
last
show,
week, anyway.
Yes, if you're new to the show, we decided to watch the Christmas Chronicles on Netflix. We did, didn't we?
We
I've
did.
not watched the wrong one.
No.
Okay, good.
No, it was Die Hard 2.
Oh, gosh.
This is the newest Christmas film that's probably come out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Netflix-made Christmas film.
The Grinch is coming out this year. There's quite a few in
that's
the
already.
cinema.
That's out, isn't it? The Grinch.
So
yeah, that's not done very well, though, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's done well anyway.
Anyway,
Christmas Chronicles. Yes. We've not spoken about this in any way. Mm-hmm. Do we want to go over bars first?
Let's do bars.
Okay, let's do bars.
Okay.
How many bars?
I would give it 1.5 bars out of 5.
Wow. Okay. I was on the fence between like 2.5 and 3. Okay. So, shall we, to meet in the middle, go for 2?
I'm not.
Are you not even happy giving it a 2?
I was thinking about giving it a 1.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have feelings that strong on it. So let's go with yours then.
Yes, let's shall.
1.5.
1.5.
I feel bad giving something 1.
Well then.
Okay. Right. Well, what's the story?
Okay. So. There is a family called the Pierce family.
Okay, this is probably... I can't actually remember what they're called.
Have you watched this film?
I watched it, but I watched it like best part of a week ago now.
Okay, right. With 2 children, a older brother and a younger sister.
Yes, I can remember that.
And the film starts with a scene from every Christmas, kind of like handheld camera recording. And then it gets to this year, and there is no dad on the scene, and he's died, unfortunately, in a fire. And the son has turned into a bit of a knob.
Yes.
And the daughter is a big believer in Christmas.
Mm-hmm. A true
believer. So she's looking through these past videos and spots Santa Claus putting out a present. Mm-hmm. She then convinces her brother to stay up overnight on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
To try and catch a view of Santa and see what he's up to. Their mum has got to go to work because she's working as a nurse. Christmas Eve, you have to. Some people have to. And then they stow away on Santa's sleigh because they kind of see him, find Santa's sleigh, just chilling outside in the open air.
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
They get in, she climbs up a pole, and they get stuck in the back, cold. They get cold.
Yes.
And then they kind of go, Santa, have you got a blanket? And this just causes a catastrophic event. The sleigh crashes, the bag of toys go everywhere, Santa loses his hat, the reindeers go missing, the sleigh is destroyed.
Yeah, I feel the scale of her asking if he has a blanket is very disproportionate to what should have happened.
Yeah.
He lost his shit.
He did. Which was very surprising.
Yeah.
And that's just the beginning of the film. So
Yes.
the rest of the film is them finding the reindeers, finding the toys, fixing the sleigh, and sorting out Christmas,
Because
basically.
the Christmas spirit level, if it drops low enough,
Yes.
Santa basically says that World War III will happen.
Yeah, he was like, the Dark Ages, do you remember that? And they were like, no, we're children, but, that's when I didn't do Christmas for 1 year and everybody nearly died.
Yeah. He was basically saying any catastrophic event that's happened was because Christmas
Yeah, because he
wasn't
messed up
safe
Christmas.
that year.
Yeah. That's about it.
That's about it.
Santa gets arrested, and they eventually sort out Christmas.
Yeah.
And there's like a nice redemption arc for the son.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into nitty-gritty details.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't sound too bad, but it's just how it's done.
No, okay. Right, let's go. Is there anything you liked? Let's do that first.
I thought Santa was all right.
Yeah, so it's Kurt Russell playing Santa. I thought he was really good.
That's why I didn't give it 1 star.
Yeah, that's the thing that that was the saving grace of the film for me.
100%.
I would probably be on the same page as you and give it a 1 if he wasn't Santa.
Yeah.
I thought he did a really good job and it felt like a real Santa. He was likable, but also not pushover likable. He had enough to him that he felt like a good character.
He had a bit of a sass to him, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
his beard is incredible.
It is. Is that a real beard?
It was, so I actually Googled it. It's 80% real.
What does that even mean?
They didn't elaborate on whether the 20% is like extensions or CGI, but they said it's
What does that mean?
80% his real beard.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
80%. They've just plucked that number out of the air.
Well, maybe it was 82% real and they just rounded down.
What? No.
I think the point is, he did grow most of that beard. It was probably
But if you're 80% of the way there to a luscious beard, you've already got a luscious beard. Why do you need to add the 20%?
I don't know. Whatever they did, it worked.
Okay.
It looked good.
I'm gonna let it go.
Let it go. You look like you're about to your head's gonna explode.
Yeah.
So just take a breath.
Okay.
Okay. Right. I liked the way that they kind of portrayed him as a superhero. He was kind of like Santa is a superhero in this.
Yes.
Kind of. I thought that
He's
worked.
basically a mutant, wasn't he? He had, superpowers.
Right. I will say the stuff that didn't work was we find out at the end, full spoilers for this film, by the way, we find out that he basically claimed that he couldn't use his powers because he'd lost his hat.
Uh-huh.
And we find out at the very end that he could.
What was the point?
But he was just choosing not to.
What was the point?
Because he wanted the kids to feel like they were doing something, I think. They retrieved the hat, although the kids didn't even retrieve the hat. It was an elf that retrieved the hat.
Right. This is really annoyed me when I found this out, because it just ruins the whole first part of the film, because if he could have just sorted it with a click of his fingers, why did he do that? Why did he first of all in the first scene fall over flat on his face? Just he jumped and because normally he teleports with his hat.
Yeah.
Why did he put Christmas on the line just to show some kid?
It's a big risk to take, isn't it?
People literally got arrested and put in jail because he was fucking around with Christmas.
Yes.
So he says.
Including right. Seeing as we're in jail in the movie now.
Right.
This was the point where I was kind of on board with it still. And then they had a musical scene in the prison, and I did. It went down a lot there. So he is in prison, and we've not seen him use any magic really up until this point, other than him going down chimneys.
He'd pull out stuff from in his jacket, here's your favorite
minor
gift.
bits.
Yeah,
and we suddenly the camera pans round, and he's recruited all of the prisoners in jail with him with instruments, a full PA system, a drum kit. Everyone can magically play, and then he just does a song.
Oh yeah,
that felt so weird.
It was weird.
It came out of nowhere. It wasn't good either.
No, it was like the Christmas spirit level is low, and then we could do with some singing. That'll bring it up. And then he just didn't mention the Christmas spirit afterwards. He just had this like singing scene.
Yeah.
And then there was like the cops that were like, no, he's not Father Christmas. He's not Santa Claus. He's not Rocky. I don't know why I always go to that.
Hey, you bum.
Hey, you bum. Did you notice that it was a you bum in this film?
I did.
Yeah.
It's in my notes.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, it's another you bum.
Because I already asked you this, I think before the mics came on, but is that a thing in 80s films that everyone calls each other a bum? Well, and then apparently in a film now as well.
Yeah. Maybe it's just an Americanism and we don't understand it.
Yeah, because I've never picked up on it before, but every film that we've watched for this Christmas month, everyone's been saying you're bum.
Maybe it's just a Christmas thing.
Maybe.
And that's why we can prove that Rocky is a Christmas film.
Right. That's the new two-sheet rule, that if someone calls someone a bum, it's a Christmas film.
No, I don't stand by that at all. Yeah, so that music scene was a bit ridiculous, and then like half the police force come in, clapping, singing along, and then there's just like one guy who's like, no, this is a bit stupid.
Yeah.
And then he lets Santa out of jail because of this singing scene.
Yeah, it was the whole time one of the policemen saw the reindeer flying, so
Right.
he believed he was Santa, and everyone thought he was crazy because he kept running around the station saying they were flying. And the other one wasn't fully convinced, even though he saw him pulling 7 toys out of his coat, even though he knew that he had nothing on him, and they were all the things that he deepest desires kind of wanted. But this was the turning point that he started believing he was Santa, I think. Yeah,
if he had magic all the way along, and he can go in and out of chimneys, and he can kind of like dissolve into dust. Why was he in jail again?
Well, this is the thing, that the biggest plot hole is, I can understand if the kids were present that he wouldn't just escape because he was trying to hide that he needed his hat for the magic.
Right.
But he was on his own at this point, and he waited for an elf to bring him his hat and then used magic, but there was no point in keeping up the pretense because there was no one to prove it to.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was weird.
It was weird. I thought this had the ridiculous kind of humans not really acting like humans would that an 80s film does.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, in a lot of the films we've watched, films I feel now have kind of nailed people feeling like real people. But this had like a wackiness to it. There was like a scene in a restaurant where Santa was trying to get a lift into town, I think.
Yeah.
And he tried to persuade a man with a baseball card.
Yeah.
And the woman next to him just took it off and ripped it up. I can't remember what she said, but I remember just like looking at her and being like, you are not a person. Like, what are you doing?
You are not going to trade your Porsche for this car. This card's now worth nothing.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah, and like Santa goes around and he can like speak loads of different languages because he goes and speaks to someone in Mandarin and goes and speak to someone in Arabic, and then the guy turns around, he's like, I speak English, you bum.
Yes, was that the line where they said bum?
Yeah.
That. Yeah, I liked the concept of where they were going with Santa specifically, but just none of them were done well.
I just wish they hadn't, right at the end of the film, destroyed his whole character by being like, I could do magic whenever I wanted. I just didn't want to.
Yeah. I mean, the plot was pretty thin the whole way through.
Yeah.
But then that just ruined whatever they'd set up.
Yeah.
Because he kept... Santa... Kurt Russell is not an overweight man. He's pretty in shape. And there was like a joke running through all of this that anytime Santa saw a picture of himself and he got a big belly and was overweight, that he'd be like... Why do they keep painting me like this? I think he kept saying. And then he asked the policeman, he was like, do I look like that? And the policeman was like, yes.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, what? Is this meant to be funny? I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't
really get what they were doing there.
I don't get that bit. Yeah, and then Santa's like, I don't say ho, ho, ho. That's fake news.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that a bit too on the nose? Like,
I think all of it was a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
The one thing I thought I was going to like was they brought elves into this quite late in the film. And part of me was thinking, are we going to get kids dressed up as elves? Or are we going to get just normal humans dressed up as elves? And then they're their own little species of little furry creatures. And I saw you get a glimpse of one, and I was like, oh, this might be cool. And then when we actually interact with them, it's not good. They're basically minions.
Yes. They're minions dressed up as gremlins.
Yeah.
It's basically what they are.
Not good.
No.
Not good at all.
And they speak like their own little elvish language.
Yeah, the elvish language, I thought it sounded somewhere between a kind of generic Scandinavian sound and then, you know the language that the Sims speak?
Yeah, Simlish.
It sounds like Simlish, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It just sounded like garbled, like,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's
And then,
really weird.
like, right towards the end of the film, the sister is, like, reading out all these different names that Santa needs to go and to deliver to.
Yeah.
To, like, the elves. And then for one line and one line only, she speaks Elvish.
Yeah.
And then she's like, hey, Santa, I can speak Elvish. He's like, join the club.
Join the club. Yeah, that was really... Because that was setting up a line earlier in the film. She said she was bad at languages in school.
Oh, yeah, like Spanish. And then he's like, I hope you'll be able to get a better grade in Spanish now that you can speak another language.
Simlish. Oh, yeah, that was weird. Yeah, maybe this film isn't even worthy of 3 like I was originally thinking.
Yeah, it's just really
I was somewhere between 2 and 3. It wasn't good. Kurt Russell did sell it the whole way through the film for me. He kind of brought it back. I didn't think the acting was very good from anyone other than Kurt Russell.
Yes.
The mum was pretty bad at the beginning.
Yes. The girl
I can
child...
I can forgive the kids because they're kids.
No, because some kids are great actors.
Yeah, it's true, actually.
She was, like, overacting to the extreme. She's obviously been to acting school.
Yeah. Like, I feel bad slating a kid's acting, but she wasn't good.
No, she's getting paid, I'm assuming, quite a bit to do this.
Yeah.
But it must be hard to get someone who is good at acting. Like, there's a less of a pool for kids and stuff like that.
But the mum should have been better. And also the older brother should have been better.
Yeah,
He wasn't awful.
I've gotten written down that he's just a poor man's Zac Efron.
Okay. Because
Because he's got that kind of Zac Efron look about him.
Yeah.
But looks like an Aldi version, kind of.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But so right at the end, he gets a present from Santa that he'd written to Santa and said, can I have my dad back?
Yeah.
After being like, Santa doesn't exist, right at the beginning of the film, he almost says it.
Mm-hmm.
He almost says it to the sister. Santa doesn't exist. But he already wrote a letter to him. And then got back this bauble and was like, I want my dad. Got a bauble instead. He looks in the bauble and it's kind of like a Mufasa Simba kind of thing. Like he's looking into the
like
water.
A reflection of
himself, and it's his dad. Yeah,
in the bauble, and then they smile at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to defend this more, but no.
Yeah. Kurt Russell was the only good part of this film.
Yeah, he was good.
And actually, I thought the reindeers looked really good.
Yeah, the reindeers look... Okay, CG in this film, really hit and miss.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say consistently, it feels like it was early 2000s CGI in a lot of this.
Because a lot of it's just like, oh, we've filmed a small sleigh, and we've like also filmed a shot of a city.
Yeah.
And we're just going to play it over the top of that.
There was one bit that I thought looked beautiful, was they initially get into the sleigh and they shoot up into the clouds. And there was like one shot when they were kind of above the clouds where I thought, this looks great. And this was still like early in the film, so I was thinking, this is pretty good. This is pretty... Yeah, downhill from there. But apart from that shot, the CG was pretty poor.
Yeah, the elves were very, very cartoonish. But like, I don't know, I just despised them for the whole thing.
I thought I was going to like them,
but the reindeer looked really good. And the way...
good.
That the actors interacted with the reindeer made them feel real. You know, they were holding onto the horns and it was like moving around in a very realistic way. So that animation and that CG looked really good to me.
And again, concepts that I liked were everything was a bit magic, but you had tools that were magical that would help them. Like the reindeer needed their bells to fly, I think.
Right, yeah.
And they had a tracking device that was like a little globe.
That tracking device didn't make any sense.
No, it didn't.
It was like, I've got all this magic stuff, and it's like, here's something for a bag, and it just beeps as you get closer.
Not a great tracking device. It's like playing hot and cold.
Yeah, it is.
But on a global scale.
When you've got Christmas on the line.
Yeah, but it was never on the line, we now know.
So the whole film was...
Which means, if he could sort out Christmas as quick as he did, that means he let World War II and World War I happen in this world.
I think Santa is a little bit of a dick.
He is a bit of a dick in this. But I mean, he's more than a bit of a dick if he let the World Wars happen.
Do you think he was just messing around with the kids and they were going to happen?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe it was like a trick, like when you get a kid to eat food that they don't want. He was just kind of
because you'll cause World War III if you don't eat this broccoli.
Ways to traumatize your kids.
Yes.
Right, I want to go on to a topic that if anyone listening has kids in the room, we're going to be talking about Christmas spoilers. So just want to preface that. Right, in a world where Santa exists in this, but you still have people that don't believe he exists.
Okay.
What I want to know is how parents don't freak the fuck out when they wake up in the morning and there's just presents under the tree because Santa has delivered them, but they know Santa doesn't exist. How does that work in a world?
So my understanding of this universe, is
we're getting into like deep Santa lore now.
Yeah. So Santa has a big long family tree of whether you're a true believer or not. A big book and your family tree, and you're only a true believer if all of your ancestors are true believers or something like that.
Yes.
Anyway, that was a bit ridiculous. But I think the idea is you only get a present if you're a believer.
So he has to check that the parents believe in Santa so that situation doesn't happen.
Yes.
Okay.
And he doesn't deliver all of the presents. He just delivers like one from Santa.
Right.
So that's why he does one each, it seems to be. Like when they're chucking them out of the sleigh, it's like one per thing, rather than the rest of the presents are from the family members or whoever. Because you get those Christmas jumpers from their auntie.
Okay, that makes sense in this universe.
Yes.
But I kind of want to finish talking about this film now.
Okay.
But why do Christmas films? That's an issue that's always bugged me. We've not really watched one this year that applies to it.
No.
But that's like a common thing, that how do you let that hang? Like, fair enough then, they have actually answered this in this film. Mm-hmm. Point for them. But normally I do think, like, how do they get around that?
Yeah, where it's like the parents are like, no, Santa doesn't exist. And it's like, but he's the one that delivers all the presents.
Yeah. But obviously he's not real.
That's it. Yeah. Surely a Christmas film trope.
Here's a question for you then.
Okay.
On Santa, how old were you when you discovered the secret?
Maybe primary school age still. I remember being sat in the car with my mum.
Yeah.
And I've been like, but Father Christmas isn't real, is he? And she was like, no, he is. I was like, no, he's not real. Because so-and-so mum told me. And she's like, no, he is. And basically, Cole was in the back, and he was a few years younger than me. They were trying to keep the Christmas spirit alive in them.
Yeah.
So my mum was like, afterwards, she was like, no, he doesn't exist, but don't say that in front of Cole.
Yeah.
Because it's still Christmassy for them. Do you know? So that was, I got told off for that.
Yeah.
So relatively young. What about you?
I was like older than I'd like to admit. But I can defend it with my parents. They tried so hard to get us to keep believing.
Right.
To the point of, so I think when I was maybe, it's hazy in my memory, maybe like 10 or 11, by the time I realised, okay, he's probably not real now.
Yeah.
But they went to the lengths of, they shouted us one day in our house, they were like, come outside quick, like Santa's flying over. And they were like, oh, you've just missed him. But we got a picture, don't worry. And they'd photoshopped a picture of our house in the distance. You couldn't quite make out what it was, but it looked enough like Santa and reindeer. And I was like, so when people at school were like, no, he's not real. And I was like, no, but he is. I've got photographic proof.
Yeah.
So I'm very appreciative of how they tried to keep the image up. My
mum did a good one as well. My mum used to go to Lapland every year.
Yeah.
Doing like as a nurse, helping children that are, kind of Make-A-Wish Foundation stuff.
Yeah.
And they would go to Lapland and see Father Christmas, and they'd go with celebrities and stuff like that, but they needed nurses to go with them. So my mum would do this every year, and she would send a letter from the Inner Circle Lapland. Right. So it would get the Lapland stamp on it and addressed back to us.
Got you.
So it'd be like from Santa. Yeah. So that was my mum's way of trying to keep up.
That's nice.
Father Christmas alive.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let me go through my notes, see if we've got anything else to say.
Just one last thing is, right at the end of the film, his wife comes in.
Yes.
And we don't see her face, and she's talking.
Yes.
And then it builds up, and then she turns around, and it's like a big reveal.
Yeah, I thought the same.
But I don't know who she is.
Is it his wife? Is that what it was, maybe? I didn't actually check, but I had exactly the same thought.
I've no idea.
Because they shoot her only from behind.
Yeah.
And she's got the hood up. And like, I was thinking, like, what are they going to... There's no payoff here that can work unless it's, like, the Easter Bunny or something under there. Like,
unless it's the kid's mum. That would surprise me. That'd be a real twist right at the end.
And then it was just a woman. Should we check if it was who it was?
I honestly have no idea who it is.
Let's have a look.
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad. Can I just say as well, throughout this whole film, he makes kind of like Christmassy in-jokes.
Yeah.
Like the one where it's like the reindeers are coming, it's like, the bells, they're ringing. Are you listening?
Yeah.
And it's like making like references to songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was a lot of song references.
Yeah.
Did you like that or not? I thought it was a bit too much.
Yeah, they were a bit overplayed.
Yeah. But I've just had a look. It's Goldie Hawn, and it is his wife.
Right.
So it was a reveal for his family.
I just didn't get it. Like it was like, I thought it was going to be something like a big elf. That'd been funny.
Yeah.
Like a massive CGI'd elf.
They should have just had her walk into the room.
Yeah. I don't know why they overplayed. That was really weird.
A very...
Has she done like a Mrs. Claus film before? Like, was it some sort of like callback to that?
She is an actress. I don't know what else she's been in. Shall I look on her IMDb?
Hit me up.
I feel like we're spending too much time on this. There's something that doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I don't care.
Yeah. Her, anyway. See, right, what's puzzling me? Let me just go back. This is... The reason I suggested this is I've heard really good things from critics and even like just general audience. It's 71% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Have you gone on Metacritic?
It's 52% on Metacritic.
Yeah.
So still not that
There's
bad.
quite a few that have gone.
Yeah.
Rated it poorly.
I would have thought everyone.
Maybe I was just in the wrong frame of mind when I watched it.
It helped. I Christmased up the occasion. I had some like hot apple thing and turned the Christmas tree lights on. I was like, I'm going to enjoy Christmas. And then I didn't enjoy Christmas.
Maybe it's a good children's film, and we've just gone at it completely from the wrong angle.
The reason I suggested this is I didn't think that's what it was going to be. I think that what we should take away from this is, if you want kids to watch a good Christmas film, I'm sure they'd probably enjoy this because it's got funny elves and
stuff. Yeah, I think it's a young children's Christmas film.
Yeah.
And that most of those kind of films often try and have like adult elements to them, so that like the adults can laugh along as well. But I just think they missed the mark on that.
Yeah, I think you can definitely have kids films that adults can enjoy as well. This wasn't one of them.
No.
Like Home Alone, I think that's great on its own and works as a
Die Hard
kids and great kids film. Right, shall we go on to our ranking?
Yes.
Yes. So for anyone who's joining us this week, our current Christmas ranking, starting from the bottom, is Home Alone 2,
Yep.
Rocky 4, Home Alone, and then Die Hard at the top.
Correct.
So, where's this film?
Dead last.
Going? Dead last.
Absolute right at the bottom.
I can agree. I can agree with that. So
I didn't laugh. I didn't enjoy it. I kind of was like annoyed at you for making me watch this.
I am sorry. As I was watching it towards the end, I was thinking, oh no, James is gonna hate this.
I'd got myself. I was like, right, I'm gonna go watch it last night. I put myself in bed, got my little laptop, and kind of just like snuggled in, and I was just bored out my brain.
Yeah.
It was just terrible.
Well, I'm sorry. I expected better. So, right. Well, we can continue our Christmas ranking next year, but as it stands, we've watched 5 films.
Yep.
Christmas Chronicles, Home Alone 2,
no,
Rocky 4.
Ben.
What?
We watched 8 Rocky films. We didn't watch
we did,
5
actually.
films.
But we had to put forward one contender.
We did.
Rocky 4 is that contender.
Okay.
So, Two Sheep's best Christmas film is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I mean, that was a very good film.
That's our number one Christmas film.
Yeah, I'll put that at the top. But out of the Christmassy films that we actually intended to watch,
I think that Spider-Verse is a Christmas film because it snowed in it.
It snowed in it, and
Did anyone say bum?
not even yabum, just
just bum.
But
It's a low bar to hit.
I don't think so.
No. I'm going to say they did. It's a number one Christmas film. Right, have we got anything else Christmassy that we want to talk about, or is that it for
No, I think that's
Christmas?
it. Well...
Oh, I was going to ask you about, do you have advent calendars? That was a whole topic I was going to talk about.
I don't have them.
Do you not?
No.
Have you never had them?
I have in the past.
When did it stop?
Here's the story for you. I used to get one, like a Christian one, that, has like the meanings of Christmas throughout it, from my grandma.
Right.
But sadly she passed away.
Yeah.
And so I don't get one anymore.
Oh.
I've never been that bothered about the chocolate ones. So now I don't get them.
Christmas calendars then?
Yes.
Well, I was going to say, I've still got one to this year. My mum still posts me one. She used to get us one, obviously, when we were living at home, and since moving away, still get one.
Yeah, I was never that fussed, and I was always just forget, so I'd just open like 6 on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Obviously, my girlfriend got one off her mum this year.
Yeah.
And obviously she can't be that bothered about it because she's left it here and gone away for a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
Well, Mum, if you're listening, keep up the magic of Christmas calendars. It's very much appreciated.
And if you've still got the photo of Father Christmas flying over Ben's house...
I think that is actually, for a long time, it was pinned onto the fridge of my nan's fridge.
Okay.
I'll check at Christmas when I go back if it's there still.
Amazing.
But I was the one of the only naughty things that my mum said I did when I was little is I went down in the night and ate all of my Christmas calendar on like the second day, and she said she couldn't be angry at me because they found me in the morning and my face was plastered in chocolate, and the calendar was apparently torn to shreds, but I'd placed it back where it was. And when they asked me they were like, Benjamin, have you eaten your Christmas calendar? I was like, nope. So apparently I didn't really get in trouble for it.
That's fair enough.
I don't know how old I was. But
I know, that sounds like an impulse control young child thing that they've no idea.
Just eat it all and then lie about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, I think that's Christmas done. I mean, not for us. We've still got to get to Christmas Eve.
Yes.
But for everyone else, Christmas is upon you.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. You can find us in all the usual places, social media. We're also on Reddit. Don't think anyone's ever commented on that.
I've not even commented on Reddit.
That's fair enough. And if you want to email in, please do. It's at bar@twosheepinapool.com.
Email in your Christmas recommendations for next year so we can add to our ranking.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for listening. My name, I've been. Oh gosh. I've been somebody. I've been Sean Connery. I've been Rocky
let's try. Who are you?
I'm James.
And who am I? I'm Ben.
Thanks for listening.
See you next week.
It's been great.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.